Okay, I think that is the beginning of the stream, if I'm not mistaken. Please do let me know, guys, if you can hear me. Hope all is well. Hope you're doing good. We're just playing a bit of this. Some game that I found on Google. So we're going to play that a bit. We're just going to chat for a little tiny bit today. Tiny bit. Drinking some green tea here because I got a bit of a cold. So I've got a bit of honey in there as well. And a bit of honey, bit of a tea bag, bit of baby oil. How are you doing, Johnson Wireless Printer? Good to have you on board with us. And by us, I mean just me. Mr. Man, what's up? Brianine, connais thought Biacre, ça va bien et toi? Hope all is good. Hope all is Gucciarino in your lives, boys and girls. Boys and girls. Oops, that's the wrong one, guys. Stick with me, guys. We're going to get there. Just want to see what that looks like. That's nice. We're going to play a bit of gaming. Do a few games. Drew, you got a dose of laryngitis. Talk to me again about laryngitis. What's that all about again? It's in the old voice box, is it? The old laryngitis. Let me see now. Just do we know where we are now? Sounds like a lad from Sligo. It's laryngi. Gitis. Got it wrong. Laryngitis is the inflammation of the vocal cords, the larynx. Should have known that myself. Causing hoarseness or voice loss, usually triggered by viral infections. Were you kissing someone? Is that what you were doing? Were you kissing someone? Okay, didn't realize. Oh, the t-shirt. Thank you for telling me about this t-shirt. This t-shirt, I'm going to do a giveaway at the end of the stream. This t-shirt can be yours, will be somebody's if you can answer this question. And let me just see if I can pull my whole face up there for you. So I'm going to pick somebody random, like from the comments, but this is the question, right? Who had a 1980s hit with the song, Is There Something I Should Know? Now, stick that in your back pocket. Stick it in ChatGPT. Do what you fucking like with it. But that's the question. Who had a 1980s hit with the song, Is There Something I Should Know? Joe Dolan, incorrect. You're not getting the t-shirt. Not that you want it anyway. But let's get the chat popping. Any shanties? Jesus, I'd love a shanty tonight. Now, I should say. But I can't because I have a bit of a cold coming on, and these midweek shanties, they take it out of the voice box. But still in the pipeline, there's still talk of shanties, and there's talk of getting you have to get a certain gang of fellas together as well for a shanty. So I'm still working on getting the correct gang together for some shanties. But I think that if we keep going the way we're going, guys, as a team, each and every one of us here in the comments, I think if we can get a shanty by Christmas, we can have a good Christmas. A lot of us, the whole gang of us meet up somewhere, genuinely rent out a room somewhere, and we'll just do sea shanties for the night. Like, imagine that. Imagine the crack you'd have at around 21st of December. Not even 21st December. The last fucking day, summer. You didn't know what you're doing. The lads are meeting up to do sea shanties down at the boat club. Fikra, you might get the t-shirt if you can answer the question, who had a 1980s hit with the song, Is There Something I Should Know? I'll give you a clue. The first letter begins with D. Handy Shandy, you dirty bastard, you. Dirty sick man in the comments. There's a sick man in the comments, guys. He needs help. No, it wasn't a duet between Stateside and Salmon. But actually, now that I have you, lads and ladies, I want to show you a song that I've recently fell in love with. You're going to love this song. I hope I'm on the right bloody thing here now, am I? YouTube. Yeah. I think his name is Lee Lavin. Mr. Man, in there like swimwear. You got it. Congratulations. You win the t-shirt, Mr. Man. Plenty more where that came from. Send me on your air code at some point, Mr. Man, and we'll get that to you. And let me see, what the hell is your man's name is? I think it's called Lee something. Lee something. Is it Lee Lavin? She's a beauty. There's this fella in England singing a song. Not that fella, no. Lee. Irish fella. What the hell is his name again? No. What the fuck? The thing about YouTube and any bloody website for that matter is, even if you ask a question, it'll give you loads of answers. None of them the ones you want. Singing. Does anyone know the guy I'm talking about? He's an Irish fella called Lee Lavin or something like that. And he sings a song about... Well, look, we'll go on to a different one for the moment. But I want to show you the song. This is another one I'll show you. T.R. Dallas. Jimmy James was quick on the draw there. In fairness, he was. But you know what? I have another one here. And I'll give that away to somebody as well. Jabs. You can have that now. You can have it. Now, get this song into you, lads. If this song is really, though, set up for, I would imagine, a Wednesday or a Thursday.
Million pubs in Ireland, from Cork to Mallinhead, where you can go and take it slow and rest your weary head. You can join in conversation or stay all on your own, but there's only one drink at the bar that will make you feel at home. It's not designer water, foreign types of beer, lager wine or ginger ale and drink from far and near. It's known as Irish porter, some people call it stout. It's the only drink in Ireland that people talk about. A Guinness, Guinness, it is good for you. A Guinness, Guinness, Ireland's favourite brew. It helps to feed your appetite, it strengthens up your bones. It's drank by saints and scholars, no matter where.
In me home, I better stop it there for a second, because if I keep that going, I could end up getting striked. I keep getting messages from YouTube saying, we saw what you're doing. Last night we saw what you were doing. We're not going to stop you now, but we saw what you're doing. And you had some content that wasn't yours. So I don't know how it works with YouTube. Maybe they can throw you off the website or something like that. I don't really know exactly how that works. But we're going to get stuck into it now and again in a second, because I think it's worth getting into the second round of this. And as that's going on, I can think of the other song I was trying to remember. Just check the comments here. You want a Tiesto remix of that? Tiesto, yeah. Some man. Did you ever see that video of Tiesto when he's on, he's like on a balcony somewhere in Europe, and he goes, I think it's Tiesto, he goes, say no to racism, and he starts mixing some music on the decks. Smashy Rashi, how are you getting on? Good to have you with us. What about From In a Stream? Let me see. Oh, Ireland's, which one? Sorry, I'm reading 2 or 3 comments at the same time and I don't know what's going on. I'm going to go back over the comments anyways, and I know who I said before I was going to give the old t-shirt to, but there's another one there in the back, and I will give that one away as well. I should say Pretty Nancy by Faye Field. Great shanty. Okay, Pretty Nancy by Faye Field. Love that. Love it. Pretty Nancy by Shy Field. Oh, this is the one I think you might have mentioned earlier. Let's just get stuck into this. Let's not give up the dinner just yet. We have a bit more to eat here.
You can see it on Coronation Street or even Albert Square. All the folks way down Glen Road to drink it everywhere. And if you visit Leinster House and look inside the door, you'll see the TDs at the bar drinking Guinness till last call. A Guinness, Guinness, it is good for you. A Guinness, Guinness, Ireland's favourite brew. It helps to feed your appetite and strengthens up your bones.
They reckon it does strengthen up the bones too. I think that's where Guinness really did its best work. It was like people used to think, I still do think this, and I've never bothered checking. Guinness is only something like one nutrient away from being a full meal. Is that even true? A table is only half set without a Guinness. Amen, Red Armchair Supporter. Amen. Do you know, it's funny, Red Armchair Supporter, your name flashed in front of my eyes this morning. Not this morning, sorry, not when I woke up. But when I went for a walk today, I was like, "Red armchair supporter." You know, sometimes you're just going about your day, and then the most random thing pops into your head. That's what happened anyways there now. Quadrex, Sláinte, enjoy your Guinness. Now, I will say this though. Smithwick's is a delicious drink as well. I would love nothing more, and we've talked about this before, guys. I would love nothing more than 3 of these every single night of my life for the rest of my life. Every time, every single day, every evening, nothing else matters. And I'm not talking about abusing it here. I'm talking about 3 of those. 4, possibly. Maybe 5 on a Friday. And maybe you take Sunday off. Yeah? Smithwick's with a Guinness head. That is, yeah. Pint of special. Do you like those on, do you? Guinness is 4 of your 5 a day. Jesus Christ. If that's the case, then I know a couple of fellas will be getting... They're on the Mediterranean diet. Smithwick's is grand. It is, yeah. Smithwick's with a blackcurrant. Woo. Woo. I don't know about that. That is a bit... I don't know. It's a bit naughty for me, the old blackcurrant. Takes away from the beauty of Smithwick's. It gives a bit of a fruity flavour. Yeah, it might do, yeah. But you know, if you drink a pint of Beamish, there's a taste of fruit in there, is there? Last time I was down in Cork, close to the source of the Beamish, I took a mouthful of the Beamish. And actually, it was the night that Troy Parrott scored the hat-trick. I drank a Beamish and it was like sweet. Did you ever get that with a Beamish? The blackcurrant to keep you regular, yes. You can always say it to the guards if they pull you in. Say, I only had a fucking couple of pints of blackcurrant. I had Guinness with my waddy in 2008. Yeah, it was okay. That's fine. 2008 is a different time. Not anymore. Not anymore. I don't know about the owl Ribena. I know it's a bit like its own kind of shandy, isn't it? Now, we're going to go on to another shandy here. Pretty Nancy of Yarmouth. I think that was recommended. This appears to be... Look at this. 4 lads standing around the living room here. Look at this. This looks like it's going to be good. You can tell that these boys are good singers. I just know for a fact. Live stream from a stream of Guinness. Imagine that.
Yeah, sure.
Imagine that, boys and girls. And imagine going into a swimming pool full of Beamish. I wonder what would you do first? Would you swim through it, or would you actually just start taking mouthfuls of it? And how long could you be in there before you're like, I better get the fuck out of here and get my jeans on me? I love their lamp. Yeah, Jesus, it's a nice size lamp. This fella here looks like he's prepping for the warm-up. It's, do you know what it reminds me of, actually? I don't know if any fellas had seen this on Instagram. It's like this reel where, did you ever get that sleep paralysis where you can't actually move? You know, normally it happens after, if you're really tired or you've been drinking or something like that, and you're sort of stuck to the bed, but you can open your eyes, but your body, it's like it's glued to the bed. You ever see that, no? But there's these videos on Instagram of like your sleep paralysis monster, because sometimes you can hear somebody, you know, when you got that sleep paralysis. So one of them was Neil Warnock, one of them was Harry Kane. It's definitely worth the watch. I'll have a look for it now in a second now. I'm just going to write that down. Harry Kane. I'm looking at this tomorrow now going, fucking Harry Kane. But we're meant to be talking about Harry Styles tonight too, by the way. That's another thing we need to dip into. You're a supporter of that red armchair. That's a nice 2-piece suite there. Anyways, we'll get stuck into the shanty.
Ready? Go.
Okay.
Pretty Nancy of Yarmouth, you're my joy and delight. It's you that I dream of by day and by night. I write for to tell you what we undergo, all on the salt sea, where...
This guy's getting ready. He's getting the lips all moistened up. I'm good to go now, boys. These guys don't give a shit because they're at the end of their days in the band. They want out. Eddie Linehan. Yeah, Eddie Linehan is a storyteller, isn't he? From Limerick, I think. He's a great character. He'd be a good man to get on the podcast. If anyone out there knows Eddie Linehan, please will you get him to text me late at night.
The stormy winds blow, So here's to the sailors.
Boys should be doing it, isn't it? Really, like when you think about it. And I'm not against having a few beers while you're doing it, but let's not tear the arse off it. But can we all just sometimes do this instead of like not talking to each other for the first 3 hours of the night? I'm sure it's different. I know it's my volume is down a bit. Okay, that's strange. Is that all right, lads? Maybe I need to be closer. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. It's fine. Okay, cool. I know the new generation are much better at not drinking like crazy. And I think that could be a good thing. I don't know. Giving you anxiety the way they're standing there with their lovely red couch. I know, it's like, whose decision was it to stand up? But you get more of a purchase on your voice when you're standing. That's why. You get more of a purchase on the voice. Now, if I look back here, there seems to be a glass of wine that has been taken. So one of them obviously needed a small bit of a kick just to get going. Let's go.
To battle they go, where the cannons loudly rattle, and the stormy winds blow. It happened one evening, just before it grew dark. Our captain came to us, and he showed us the mark. He showed us the mark, me boys, like use in the sky. Oh, reef up your topsails, there's a storm blowing nigh. So here's to the sailors, to battle they go, where the cannons loudly rattle.
Just going to stop it there again in case YouTube come flying in the door going, oi, it's not your fucking song, mate. This guy's got the arm moving here. He's very comfortable there, you can tell. I wonder, is there anything to be said for the eye contact, which seems to be a very important thing in some cultures when you're singing. Like if you see two Spanish people singing, a man and a woman, they're just like undressing each other while the song is going on. And you're not even listening to the music. You're just looking at them two going, what's going to go on after the song? Anyways, these lads, clearly, you can tell that there's chemistry as well in the eyes.
And the stormy
Okay.
winds blow. It happened next morning, just before break of day. Our captain came to us, and this he did say: be all of brave heart, me boys, be all of good cheer.
Okay, now? Is that better?
For while we have sea room, brave boys never fear.
Are those proportions all right there, guys?
So here's to the sailors, to battle they go, where the cannons loudly rattle, and the stormy winds blow. And no idea.
It's a good one. I like it though, but it's a long one. So you'd nearly want to break it up in between. Just like have a bit of a pit break or something. Lovely Harmonies, guys. Press Gang will probably pinch this one. We're like that. It's a great song. Absolute chads. Would you like... This is the manosphere that I want to be in. 4 lads in a living room hanging out. One of them drinking wine. But you reckon they're private school boys? It's hard to know. Hard to know now. Let's see now, do we have anything else we can look at? Well, I can't be looking at too much stuff here on the old... It's funny how the algorithms... Sometimes you wonder about the algorithms. Do they tell you what to watch, or are they just listening to everything you're saying and then they tell you... Or they tell you what you... They know what you want to watch, so they just show you stuff that's similar. But look at this guy, he's a fucking mug. Absolute mug. The baby badger growls. Yeah, we could get into that. But wanted to ask you guys, who do you think would be tougher? Who would you rather have on your team if you were going out? If you were heading to war, let's say. You had to go to war, right? Who would you take with you? This fella? Clash of the Titans? Or this fella? Big Tank? I'd nearly be inclined to side with Tank on that one. I feel like Tank, you'd be able to get on with him better. Whereas the other fella wouldn't. You wouldn't get a straight answer out of the other fella at all. The badger. You'd go with the badger. Well, that's the case. We're going to go with the badger. Let's go in. Oh, look at him. It's amazing how cute young little animals can be like that, but once he grows up to be an adult...
Oh my God, that is so cute.
But like, don't even think about it. Hey, buddy, you do, my puppy. What you doing?
He reminds me of, Oh my God, that is
Back
so
in the
cute.
day where the baby dinosaurs are not the mama.
You go for Frankie Boyle, would you?
Think about that all the time.
No. I just want to see what this guy's saying here, and then.
Well, let's have it right. If history's anything to go by, last time we had a little meet with you lot, we ran you all over London. You couldn't run 100 yards, mate. Well, need to either. Don't get lemon, Bill. It don't suit you. Spell it, you C-U-N-T. I meant lemon, soppy bollocks. We'll see about lemon when you're lost in deep south.
Like, just. Why are you even talking to each other, lads? Why are they even talking? Like, why don't you just. What's this all about?
Well, let's have it right. If history's anything to go by, last time we had a little meet.
Like, this young lad just started kicking. He's got a scar on his face for some reason. Why is this young lad got a fucking scar on his face? What kind of football is this? Is this like these two lads are like, yeah, just when you get in there, just fucking have him?
Anything to go by. Last time we had a little meet with you lot, we ran you all over London. You couldn't run 100 yards, mate.
He got him there now, in fairness.
Well, need to either.
Wouldn't fucking need to. Straight
Don't
back
get
in with
lemon,
the
Bill.
chat.
It don't suit you. Spell it, you C-U-N-T.
You see, there's a bit of a change in the attitude. They don't care about the football anymore now. It's a bit more related to the old tension between the two lads there.
I meant lemon, soppy bollocks.
He's just never a second gap in between with this fella. Like, just to think about what he's going to say. Just straight in with the, I meant lemon, soppy bollocks. Imagine at one point in his life, and I know he's not a real person, but you guys can see that all right, yeah? This fella at one point was a lovely guy. Absolutely lovely guy. Now he's fucking on a sideline with a load of kids talking absolute soppy bollocks. Soppy bollocks is a weird saying, yeah? It's very picturesque. Is that the word picturesque saying, is it? It paints some picture, doesn't it? You think of his soppy bollocks when he says it. Knock his fucking teeth out, boys, and kick the ball, let's have it.
Soppy bollocks. We'll see about lemon when you're lost in deep south, you fat prick. Whoa, now we're getting personal.
Now we're getting personal. What was all that stuff before it then, you mug?
Now what's your problem? The fact you got to open your kebab shop in 5 minutes, or the fact you buy your Charlie out of white man?
Double dig there, you see? He double dipped. He double dipped there. He had it all he'd all like prepped up. Let me see now. This was a double slag. So this guy was kind of winning.
The fact you got to open your kebab shop in 5 minutes, or the fact you buy your Charlie out of white man? Well,
letting the whole world know that he thinks that this man is Turkish, I suppose. And also telling all those kids that are playing football that this man he's on the bag, isn't he? He was in the business with Danny Dyer also. Yeah, he was. And I actually watched a full interview before of not this
how's
fella.
it feel doing business with a Turk?
Look at the fucking ref. Look at the ref. The ref is gacked out of it. Look at him.
Business
Look at that ref. It definitely was.
with a Turk. When you're supposed to be right wing,
he looks like he's on the deck,
Scooby-Doo's
actually.
less confused.
There's the way he stand there. Does he even have a fucking child playing football? That was a good double dip. He was in the business with Danny Dyer. Yeah, sorry, I've said that. If you've been in a Guinness tank, you probably have a soppy bollocks. The ref is Ibiza.
Using you prick. You'll be confused up and your gangster up. You want to wait till the game, or do you want to make one with me now? Don't punch above your weight, you long streak of piss. Well, stop punching your old woman about then, wang. You so you mug, you nerd, you fat
Just forget the football. Forget the football for a second. And just forget the football completely. Forget that there's any game going on here at all. Imagine they're in a car park.
So you mug, you
Got nothing to do with football.
fat
Young lad's walking away. Can't even. The referee just standing there. He's like, "Fucking thank God that's finished." And also, in fairness, this fella goes in with he goes in low. Why is the goalkeeper still ready for like a shot? That's professionalism, I suppose. Oasis song would suit. Nice to hear proper English speakers. Yeah, I love that. In fairness, is that the Cockney accent that's going on there? The man was believed to be carrying a bladed implement. I Okay, here we go again. Well, that's your man, anyways. But yeah, we were talking about him the other night, and he was the one who made the word. Oh, this is a video. I think we might have watched it before, actually, so we can't watch it. Well, we can watch it again, but it's that fella, Big Jim, who cycles across the back mountains of, I think it's Wales or could be Scotland, but he cycles across these big bumpy mountains on an old bike, and he hides bottles of whiskey. You probably can't see it there because I'm in the way, picture-wise, but I'll move myself over. There he is there. Big Jim's Big Boozy Bike Trip to Braemar, all the bees, on the BBC. Oi, oi, let's have it, boys. Let's really have it this time. Sorry, I need to stop doing that. But so yeah, what else is I going to talk about? Oh, Harry Styles. Yeah, for some reason Harry Styles is appearing in my feed these days quite a bit, and I think he must have some new music out. And it seems like when people are releasing music nowadays, they do it all in the one go, which is probably what they did years ago with albums, I suppose. But it seems like they'll put up all the videos, all their music videos, onto YouTube one after the other. Does anyone else recognize that, or am I just like miles behind? Okay, it says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. The most dehydrated cyclist ever. Yeah, I think we watched that one before, actually, guys. I think we've seen it. We can like sort of scan a few clips here now, anyway. But he lives up in the mountains, and he's a really old school Scottish kind of fella. He's only 28 there. Did you hear about the guy lifted for 110 grand of herb in Newstock Bar media today? No, I didn't actually, no. I did not hear about that, no. What was going on there? Am I missing something there? Chuck Norris, yeah, we were chatting about him the other day. It was a sad sign to see him go, but you look at, as my mother says, it's a day out for everyone. But he'll be back. Chuck Norris will be back. He's here in spirit anyways, and we're always thinking about him. We're walking with the spirit of Chuck Norris inside us as we speak. And nothing wrong with that. I'm just writing what you said there. Now this could be something. I might have got that completely wrong. No, nothing's coming up for that. So anyway, we'll go back to Big Jim. Big Jim, another tough man, old school man, like Chuck Norris. And these are some of the mountains he cycled across.
That's what the locals have christened.
You'd be better off walking in this instance here, I think. He outlasted Bruce Lee, Tommy Burns. He did, actually, yeah, in fairness. Like, when you think about it, like, Bruce Lee was probably more famous than Chuck Norris, or was he? I'd say he was. Anyways, when I was growing up in the 90s, Bruce Lee was definitely the most famous. But then, am I right to say that it was an aspirin or something he took that done him in? Is that what done him in, I wonder? He's down at, yeah, mountain bike would be a great job there, but there was no mountain bikes, I suppose, in them days. Maybe there was. That's a proper bike, though. If you get going on that bike at all, if you get a bit of speed on one of those yokes, you don't even need to worry about an engine or anything like that. You're motoring. If you can get downhill on one of those bikes, just by pure weight alone, you'll do about 60 mile an hour. That's why those Dublin city bikes there's a bit of weight in them, so that once you build up a bit of pace, you start moving quick. Where's Wally jumper? Yeah, nice woolen jumper would it be? You'd want that sort of thing though up in the mountains up there, wouldn't you? Look at that. You'd want a good jumper up there in the mountains. There was a jumper, by the way, jacket I should say, that they don't make anymore, and it was called a donkey jacket. Does anyone remember these donkey jackets? This was like a donkey jacket. You'd see the lads on the railway lines wearing them. Ireland 90s, let's say. You'd walk up and down the railway lines and they'd have these sort of jackets on them here. Fine, warm, solid jackets with a bit of leather up there. There was always a bit of leather on the elbow, a bit of brown leather sometimes on the elbow. And you'd be wearing them for necessity, but nowadays they're worn for fashion. So, each to their own, I suppose. I nearly died from aspirin, ruptured a stomach ulcer, ironically on the way to a funeral. Jesus Christ. That does not sound good. I hope you're all right now. Bordamona job.
there's nothing particularly definite about Jim's trips across the Larrig. This
CSB
time he's off
jackets,
to
yes,
visit
exactly.
Annie MacDougall, the widow of an old mate
Exactly.
who died
It's
3
hard to
years
get
ago.
your hands on them now, don't it?
Sometimes it's to see them tossing the caber at the Braemar Games.
Yes, I
You
think
could
it is
say
the same as
he
Uncle
only
Albert's.
goes
Yeah,
when the
he's
spirit
right now.
moves him. And
Look at this
talking
fella,
of
like, look at him. Another fella, an absolute demon for the
He only
sauce.
goes-
Like, he's cycling about 3 hours, and in order to keep himself warm along the way, he's hidden bottles of whiskey, probably some home brewed stuff. He's hidden it here in the mountains. In certain, like, how do you find that? How
when
is
the
he finding
spirit
that?
moves him. And talking about spirit,
You know what, though, he looks as happy as can be. Now, I'm not saying like that you need to be hiding, drinking a mountain and then cycling around the place, but is there anything to be said for this kind of life anymore? Is there anything to be said for this kind of fella? Now, we do not have an age of this fella, so we don't know what we're dealing with here. Does he look stressed? More stressed than anyone nowadays? It's hard to know. Like, it's a harsh old winter up that way as well. But he looks like he's zoning into something there. He looks like he's tapping into a different energy there.
I've done this for years, and I think it's the water, the hill water, seems to add to the quality of the whiskey as well.
Gosh, fella.
The way I drink it.
I'm very impressed at the way you...
Look at the hands. Look at this.
The water, the hill water, seems to
Let's have a look at
add
these
to the
hands.
quality.
Look at them. They could tell stories. God, I'd love those hands on me right now. Nice and warm fingers. You can tell that the blood is just pumping through those fingers. They've had I was going to say a long day, but they've had a long week. And he's holding the putchin, probably with the dabble of mountain water. Takes the edge slightly off. He pisses on the area where he hides the bottle and smells it. Imagine his smelling was that handy. Hill water, yeah, exactly. I'd say use a touch of hill water. You can see it in it there. There's a bit of mist.
Of the whiskey as well. The way I drink it.
Mystery.
I'm very impressed at the way you sort of wander up to the side of a stream and find the bottle straight away.
He looks as happy as can be there. He looks as happy as you'd see anybody nowadays. Show this to Brian Johnson. This is how a man lives to 100. Exactly. There's a lot to be said for the peace that's going on between this lad's ears. I guarantee you this fella never had to think about websites or fucking cables.
You must have a very good memory for where you put it.
Oh, sometimes. I've already lost a half bottle.
You have?
Yes.
How did that
Lost a
happen?
load of bottles
Well, I
in
think
the
it's
mountains.
either a fall of rock or an avalanche.
Teeming with
Because it
bottles of
disappeared.
whiskey.
And
An avalanche isn't too good for the whiskey, eh?
Oh no, I'm afraid not.
I'm surprised the bike stands up to it.
Oh, it doesn't. Sometimes it collapses. But I have a puncture, broken chain, or
Broken chin, broken back, slipped disc, saddle came off the bike, fell on top of it, and puncture on the tyre.
pedals and such like.
What do you do if your bike collapses, though? Do you leave it and walk?
I sit there and a couple of whiskies and get myself all covered in. I have this baby oil that I bought on the internet. Sorry, that's a terrible accent. Badger took his bottle, an avalanche. The farmer's fringe blowing with the wind is a wholesome scene. Oh, it is. A healthy 37-year-old man.
Gone or what?
Oh no.
You got a puncture?
Oh, I had a puncture last year. Every year I have a puncture.
What do you do?
I just carry on, pull the tube out and carry on flat.
Well, you've only gone 6 miles.
He goes raw, not the kind of fella you want with you as well. He goes raw when necessity is needed, I suppose. He takes the tube out of the tyre and he cycles the whole bike raw dogging. And I guarantee he's done that loads of times. He'd cycle it down to the chain, I'd say, if he got his way. There's no stopping this fella anyway.
Well, you've only gone 6 miles already, Jim.
Puchin though is it's powerful stuff. But I remember years ago, probably mostly in the 90s, that they used to give Puchin to everybody for everything. Like, you had a toothache, they'd rub Puchin into your gum, the pain would be gone. You had an earache, they'd rub it under your ear. If the cow wasn't producing milk, they'd start rubbing it onto the teeth. What else would they use it for? Just getting drunk. Having the crack. But it is rocket fuel, yeah. I remember another time drinking it with a friend of mine, Peter, and we were fine until we stood up. But genuinely up to that point we were fine, and then we stood up and we're like, whoa, whose house is this? Whose pants am I wearing? But they reckon that the next day when you drink water, you get drunk again because it puts you in diluted. But anyways, here we go again. He knows well he can't go across those rocks on a bike. I think he'd be nearly better off not taking the bike at all. What do you guys think? I think he'd be better off not taking the bike at all.
The lorry itself it's not recommended really for bikes unless you're prepared to either push it or carry it in different sections.
Aquabike. Yeah, he needs like a bigger tires. You have to admire his tenacity though to go across the field on a bike. Like, cause I haven't seen him really getting into a stride on that bike at all. It's mostly just carrying the bike. Like, probably that's part of the suffering that he's doing. He's probably not aware of it, but that's Catholic guilt there. He has to suffer in order to drink the whiskey in the mountain, which completely makes sense. I get that completely. That's something I'd nearly do myself. Like, I think I would walk it, but then along the way, I'd have rocks left everywhere, and I'd try to do 20 squats each time with a rock. And sometimes I would probably like bust me back, and then I'd end up stuck up there, and I'd have to crawl home. Look at this, another one here, look.
Not much more than 3/4 of a bottle on the outward journey. And the same.
How does that work though? He must buy 6 or 7 or 8 bottles, and he must hide them. So but I'd say he gets them all in one go, does he? Or what's he doing? Like, why doesn't he just drink that one? I suppose he doesn't have to carry it. Yes, I get you now. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. He doesn't have to carry the bottle. That's a genius move. It got me thinking, actually. What if you were to hide a naggin in every single room you ever walk into? And that way you could always be tipping away. Smell the piss. Yeah, the bike is made of steel. It's a serious bike. It reminds me almost of a kettlebell. Just the actual probably weight of that bike alone is probably, I'd say, 40 kg. And let's get a look at his legs here as well and the boots. This is a man that you need to look to if you ever want to go hiking. These are the kind of people who have it perfected because they live in the mountains. Just want to get caught drink driving. Yeah, if he took the bottle with him, he wouldn't last the trip. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, the whiskey is a bit like a slide. You know, you think I'll go down slowly, and then you end up going quickly. That's a terrible metaphor, but you know what I'm getting at. But here we are, and we'll skip on a small. Oh, he's getting a bit of the mountain water here.
That carries on for the next 5 or 6 miles. Well, by that time, now we're near the end of the rough.
I'll tell you one thing. Do you ever walk across a field with loads of holes and bumps in it, and then you get back onto a road, and you start thinking to yourself, Jesus Christ, I've been taking roads for granted for a very long time. And I think this fella now, when he hits that bit of tarmac there, he's probably delighted with himself. Now, this is where the bike will come into its own
journey. And by this time, you're looking forward to entering Mar Lodge.
People do it at festivals. They bury the drink, bury spirits a week before. Ooh, that is a nice move.
Beverage there. Maybe
you know, the fella that
3 pints of beer.
He's got like
one after the
plastic
other.
Underwear, and he pours a naggin into the underwear.
When you come, you
can
drink
suck
the
away
first
in
one.
it for the night, but like no one's going to check you down there.
You don't get the taste of it.
So his whole underwear
But
is
you
like
find
whiskey.
you get the taste of the 3rd pint. And then you're set for the night.
Okay, so, sorry, I didn't realise that this fella actually, he's going on the piss. This can't be a daily occurrence. This is probably once every month maybe. But like, he looks like he's drank 3 or 4 whiskeys. He's getting into the town or the village here now. He's feeling good. And
3 pints of beer, one after the other. When you come, you drink the first one. You don't get the taste of it, but you find you get the taste of the 3rd pint, and then you're set for the night.
Well, after 22 miles, 6 hours.
wait a minute now. This fella's I like him. He does his own thing here, look. I thought when he said he's set for the night after 3, he was on about like, probably he ordered in a load of drugs or something, but...
Well, after 20...
He heads off on the bike. Still bright. He made a very, very mature decision there. Still enjoying himself. Probably the whiskey's kicked in about now. The 3 pints are just pumping through his veins. He's hit a real sweet spot here.
2 miles, 6 hours, and 3/4 of a bottle of whiskey, not to mention those 3 pints of beer. With bicycle somehow still in one piece, Jim finally arrives at Annie's door.
Who's Annie? What's going on here now? Yes, he is, yeah. Going over to me just for... This is the funny part here, look. Smoking a fag, yeah. So definitely the whiskey's kicked in. He calls to the house. About 28 kilometres away from where he started. Nobody's there. Nobody's in the house. And we give out about mobile phones, but this was an occurrence years ago. You'd drive 2 days to meet somebody and then they weren't there, so you'd have to drive back.
Did you still in?
Yeah, it is. Nobody's there.
Annie's not in.
No
To a
light
lesser
on the bike or
man,
nothing.
such a...
No light at all on the bike at all. But at the same time, he probably has not to worry about big cars or anything, or big tractors coming through there because the roads were much quieter. You can imagine how quaint it was back then. Oh, the quaintness of the whole setup. Kerry Peep. Oh, the mice. Okay. Sorry, you did say Peep. I thought your name was Kerry Peep. Does he have a plan B? I'd imagine he's probably going to sleep in a ditch somewhere tonight.
quirk of fate would be too hard to bear. But Big Jim Colley's made of sterner stuff. After all, he can always pop across the Larrig to visit another time.
He's gone. Is he gone? Wait a minute. He didn't go home again, did he? He did not go home. He couldn't get across the mountains then, could he?
Annie's not in. To a lesser man, such a quirk of fate would be too hard to bear. But Big Jim Colley's made of sterner stuff. After all, he can always pop across the Larrig to visit another time.
He went home. What kind of... This fella needs to be studied. He went home after cycling 28 kilometres. He had 3 pints and probably 4 whiskies. This man needs to be tested. The older I get, the more I realise this dude figured it all out. Yes, 100%. 100%. I've never gotten a better image of absolute zero anxiety. Yeah, Jesus. He looks great for 23. Oh, Jesus. He looks great for 23. Some fuckers out there. The patron saint of mountain biking. Oh, God. Does he eat any food at all, or is it just fucking whiskey? I didn't see that. Did you remember this, guys? This is the opening scene here. He's got the fire on. The fire is a decoy. It's just to keep his mind occupied.
Big Jim Colley say...
Big Jim. There's a real old school cottage table as well. Probably pints of milk, bread, homemade bread I should say, jam, soda bread, lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, all that kind of stuff. She had her chance. I know, that's so funny, isn't it? He stayed for like 7 seconds. What if Annie was out the back hanging clothes, which is very possible? What if she was taking a shower? What if she was doing something out the back where she was maybe pulling weeds or something? Or the dog was barking? And he gave her 7 seconds and he was gone again. Big slab of lard on that table, yeah, definitely. Just a big, dirty, old, greasy slab of lard. Different times, really, when you think about it. It was the same in Ireland, though, as well. Like my parents to be telling me that we only had meat the odd Friday. But now they love it. They love the meat. Chicken, especially. They're big into their chicken. Annie was hiding on him. Maybe she was. But he doesn't hang around anyways, that's for sure. He's a bit of a legend, this fella. I almost do not want to look at anything else about that lad, because I want to just keep him in my memory as this beautiful man, Big Jim. Because now, you know, in the past I've done like stuff where I've looked at the fella, like let's say it was Big Jim. You look at him and then you look at another video of him and he's doing something that's like, oh, that's not good. And you kind of fall out of love with them, so to speak. Look at this. Not to be too booze heavy.
Would you agree?
This is a very nostalgic time. Is it nostalgic for everybody, or is it just me? You don't eat meat on a Friday, that's fish. No, I know what you're saying, Kerry, there, but like I'm saying is they wouldn't even be eating fish. It'd be whatever they get their hands on. But there was a bit of exaggeration going on as well in them days too, I think. Because my father used to say to me he had no shoes, and yet every single picture that I have seen of my dad when he was young, he had shoes and he had lovely suits on. So he's a liar. On to the next, Annie. There's no fish in Scotland.
With an extra hour's drinking in the pubs on a Sunday night.
I think they should be open all night.
All night long?
All night long, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's only.
Oh, I'd love to be hanging out with this fella. You know, well, he's got just the most insane stories about fighting fish and driving a tractor upside down and stuff like that, you know, and he probably can play the flute with his butt cheeks and stuff like that.
Day during the week, and they're closed from 2 till 4 every Sunday.
2 to 4?
Extra hour with
Waterford
lightning
accent?
difference.
Oh, I don't think so,
Wexford?
no. Ruination of men altogether. That's drinking in pubs Sunday night. Should be home with their missus.
Nice little touch there. Nice little touch. You know, sometimes we look back on men of yonder and we think, geez, they were tough. This guy is nice.
Be home with their missus.
Home with the missus.
Well, no, really, I think 10 o'clock is late enough on a Sunday night, to be honest with you.
Well, they shouldn't be drinking late anyhow. They're coming home drunk in cars and getting crashing.
Would you agree with the extra hours drinking in the pubs on a Sunday night? Would I?
This lad looks like JFK, does he? Look at this fella. Is there something about that there? It looks like these are aliens. Look at this. She's blue for a start. Doesn't care about the camera person. Like, doesn't even turn to look. This fella is dressed impeccably. I bet you he's probably off to America, this fella. You can tell. Just look at the gither of him.
Tonight.
Would I agree with the extra hours drinking? No, I don't.
Why not?
Well, I think, first of all, there's enough time for drinking. There's too much money spent on drinking. That's one of my reasons. And the other, I'm a pioneer and I'm against drinking altogether.
All right, double whammy here. So see the way he's paced himself, and also he's a pioneer, never touched the stuff. So that question probably offended him. Probably.
That's one of my reasons.
Oh?
And the other, I'm a pioneer and I'm against drinking altogether.
This fella loves
not
to drink.
Altogether, but
why did they show a shot of this fella? Like, what the fuck's he at?
And I'm against.
Looks like he's scouting cars. This fella. He's like, that car there, yeah, that car. Yeah, the pair of shoes in that car there. I'll take them shoes. Oh, there's a fibre there in the backseat of that car. He only drinks blood.
Drink altogether. Not altogether, but within reason.
Well, added 2 short of hours. The Sunday night, close at 10:10. Definitely 2 short of hours of Sunday night.
Oh, I think it's long enough as it is.
I agree with drinking all the time.
Look at this fella. I agree with drinking all the time. Like these. Look at this fella. Like, look at the clothes he's wearing. Like that jacket. What's it made of? Fucking badger fur. What the fuck is going on here? Sorry for the language. Just on a side note, these cars behind, I could be wrong, but is that a Lada? Is that a Russian car? These used to be big news in Ireland back in the day. They used to say that. Where is the radiator in a Russian? No, where's the radiator in a Lada? It's in the back seat so that your hands are warm when you're pushing it, because they were always breaking down. Our car was always breaking down years ago. Drink driving used to be so normal. I'd be collected by my drunk father and brought to the local bar for ages before we get home. Yeah, same as that. Yeah. People would drive very slowly, and it's obviously not a good thing to do, but definitely people were drink driving. It was big stuff, big news. But they were having the crack. But this fella here, listen to this.
I agree with drinking all the time.
I would see no harm in it on a Sunday night.
You couldn't say 10 o'clock is late enough.
I don't think so. I think probably 11 o'clock would be all right for a Sunday night. Restaurants are open until later hours. If people want to get a drink, they can drink there. So the pubs might just as well have their chance of being open.
Beg your pardon? The publicans are looking for an extra hour's drinking in the pubs on a Sunday night. What do you think about that?
Well, I wouldn't agree to it. I don't think I wouldn't agree to it.
You know what? I'd rather now a couple of pints back at the house now in the pipe. Lock the front door, stick the fire on. The band's coming off. We'll see what happens. No, we're asking about drink. Oh, sorry. Crack Charlton. He does look like you know what? He does look like Jackie Charlton or Bobby Charlton, and he also looks a bit like a few of my uncles actually. Definitely was a common enough old look as well. Very much an Irish looking man there. Crack Charlton. Jesus Christ, that's a great one. Crack Charlton. I saw a lad heel over into an edge on a bike. He rested for a couple of minutes, right himself, and cycled home. Jesus Christ, your dad drove you from Killarney to Limerick without bulbs in the headlights. Jesus Christ, how did you manage that? I remember one time when the wipers broke in our car and my dad had to hand out the window cleaning. But it wasn't so bad, like, but... but anyway. They say, hey, you have any fags, lads, You have any fucking fags, lads? Love these characters.
Is 10 o'clock late enough?
Too late.
Look at this. Bilbo Baggins himself, look at him. Hairy old ears on him, but Jesus Christ, wouldn't you just love to spend a couple of days with this fella? I guarantee you he'd know everything about the land as well. You'd ask him a question, what is that plant there? He goes, oh, that's for, you use that for wiping your arse. What about that one over there? That's for getting rid of spots on the back of your arse. Why is it all arse related stuff? Car journeys used to be a lot more of an adventure and a gamble, definitely, yeah. Jesus, they were, yeah. I remember, like, we'd go to Mass every Sunday, and there'd be 7 of us in a tiny car, and, like, there'd be people sitting on top of each other, and sometimes we'd be bringing people home from Mass, so there was one point, I think there was probably 11 people in the car, and, like, we were going really slowly, you know, and we're having a great time. And I remember, like, we were just dropping a couple of fellas down the road to their house, but the crack was so good that we kept going. And we drove into another town and dropped them off there, actually. The car was always fecked, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, sure, our car was to break down the whole time. And I remember, like, so many times going to school where my mother would try to get the car onto a hill. She goes, get it onto the hill. And she'd put it into second gear and starting it and revving it or whatever, trying to get it going. But we'd only have the tiny little hill to play with. So if we didn't get it on the hill, we'd be like, oh, Christ, our car's not working. And the car would be just pulled in at the side of the road. And people would drive past and be like, why is your car there? And we'd have to say, yeah, the battery's gone. Big deal getting a battery back then. The journey was better than the Mass. No, the Mass was unbelievable. The journey was, in fact, correct. You're correct on that one. Bringing back mad memories. Kids don't get to push start cars these days. Yeah, I know, that's the thing. People are more cautious, you know. I think I was telling you this before, but, like, there was once there... maybe about a month ago, where I was trying to help these 2 Mexican fellas push a trolley into a shop because they were like, por favor, and they were like really pushing. So I was just walking. I was like, all right, I'll give them a hand, and I started pushing with them, but nothing happened. Like, we couldn't move it at all. So then after like 2 minutes, I was like, okay, lads, I'll see you later. And then they're like, okay, gracias. And I was like, well, didn't really do anything, did I? You got banned from Sunday school for using a 6-foot candle like a lightsaber. Right. What was Sunday school? I know, like, probably it was extracurricular studies and stuff, but what kind of stuff were you doing on Sunday school? Jeez, I would have hated there going into Sunday school. I know I did a bit of evening study, but not a whole lot of that either. I was more like hanging out, chatting to people. But anyway, let's go back to this lad in here.
Should be closed at 9 o'clock. I think it is late enough. It's the top of day, isn't it?
Yeah. Where do you think...
Does that make any odds?
Do you think would people have money to drink for an extra hour on a Sunday night?
I would if there was someone to buy it.
Why, do you think it's too dear?
It's very dear, yes.
Come here, lads. Can I get 50 quid off you?
They would. If they paid their way, other ways first. I don't...
We'll just kind of, just to be cute here, we don't want to get shadow banned here. We're just going to see what this lady has to say as well.
And therefore they probably wouldn't get so many more drink anyway.
Of course they would. All night, possible.
So many more drink.
What's going on with this fella here? Why is he talking so, like... Jesus, this guy's... he's... Like, if you've seen him on the catwalk nowadays, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
They probably wouldn't get so many more drink anyway.
Of course they would.
Where was he going there at the end?
Drink anyway.
Where was he going there at the end? Look. See you later, boys. Shadowy figure here, look. Be careful what you say. And a lovely, lovely colour of car there in the background. Purpley, I suppose, is it?
Of course I would. All night, if possible. This weather.
I don't drink myself. I don't drink. But is it not true you have a couple of bottles of wine in the house after a mass? I do not. And it's religious wine, if anything. And what's this here on your little hanky? That's wine. I'd be drying my lips on it. Cars rustled a lot back then. Yeah, I suppose they probably weren't. They looked nicer, but probably weren't anywhere near as efficient or strong.
Yeah,
as
I think any time. You know, no matter what hours they're open or not open, you're going to get people going to the pubs. I mean, they close Sunday afternoon, don't they? 2 o'clock or something. 2 to 4.
Is it 2 hours? Yeah, 2 hour session. Yeah.
It is a 2-hour close, but I think it doesn't particularly matter what hour.
Look at this lady in the background here. I'd love to know who she is or he. It looks a bit like not Joe Dolan, but that fella who sang in the. I was going to say sang in the Olympics. The fella that sang Logan, is it? You know that Logan singer from Ireland? He sang at the Eurovision, and he won it, I think, one year. Johnny Logan. It looks like Johnny Logan here. Johnny Logan. Johnny Logan wins. Quadrex, you said you were baptized an altar boy for 2 weeks. Oh, you were an altar boy for 2 weeks until they discovered you weren't baptized, and then they took you off the books. Jesus Christ. That was a bit cheeky of them. Or did you care? Joe Brawley. Sound is a bit low again. That's strange because I didn't do anything there, guys. Hopefully that's better. Used to have a 1961 car, solenoid stuck, and used a coat hanger start up. Jesus Christ, a coat hanger. A coat hanger. Yeah, we can start our tractor with a nail. So I know exactly what you mean.
Hours that open, you're going to get people in the pub one or the other. I think take an hour off the afternoon, add it on at
What do you reckon, guys, about 24-hour pubs? Is that a good thing? Like, it sounds almost dangerous, but they reckon that anywhere that has 24-hour pubs, people tend to drink less because there's no rush at the end of the night. But I don't know. Like, I just don't know if it's. I don't know. It's a dangerous health setup. This was actually filmed in Cavan last week. Cheeky bastards. Some daring and remarkable hairstyles in this. Mean Street Posse. Awful idea, especially if they're near schools and stuff. Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, no, definitely not have them near schools. But I'm saying, like the Witherspoons that people seem to go on about. Anytime I'm talking to fellas in Dublin, they're always saying, we actually go to Witherspoons now. What do you guys think of Witherspoons? Is it any good? It seems like you can still get cheap drink in there. Not that, like, your life should revolve around the drink, but I'm saying sometimes we like to have a tipple or two, and it seems like if the price is up around 7 or 8 quid, it's nice to find a spot that just is a bit lower than that. So I apparently Witherspoons is fairly cheap. Never been. I was in one years ago in London, innit? And actually it was very nice. It was kind of posh, actually, to my surprise, because I thought there'd be boys in there going, "Where you from?" "From the west of Ireland, is it, you mug?" You like the food and spoons? Jesus, what kind of... I didn't even know they did food in Witherspoons. Weatherspoons, sorry, Weatherspoons. Prefer Reese Witherspoon. I put my hand up in class for something and tried to fit in because my family were blow-ins, I guess, and ended up even worse off after the altar boy disaster. Ah, well. At least you tried, you know? I remember the priest was like, we used to go to Mass early because my parents didn't like to be late for the prayers, but the priest would always see us at Mass, and he must have assumed that we loved praying. And so myself and my brother, he'd say to us nearly every week, he'd say, "You guys want to say a prayer or two?" Like, you know, when you go up and there's a few kids that go up and say a few prayers, and he'd say to me, myself and the brother, "Do you want to go up and say a few prayers?" And we're like, I didn't wear glasses at the time, but I did need the glasses. I've needed glasses since maybe I was, 6 years of age. But I remember I said to him, "I don't have the glasses, sorry, I'd love to, but I can't." And looking back now, I wish I'd gone up there, you know, and prayed. Mean Street Posse 99. You're still paying $5.80 for a pint in my local, not to brag, which is crazy when you think about it. But that is nowadays that's a decent price. But still, it's a lot though. Where's that, do you mind me asking? Or do you want to keep it secret? So I can understand if you want to keep it a secret. I paid €10 once before in Oslo. No, was it Oslo? It was somewhere like Norway. It was somewhere in Norway. Bergen, I think it was, somewhere like that. €10 for a pint. And it was just an average old dirty pint as well. It was just like a beer, some old beer that they had there. €10. You should have seen me licking the glass. No, but it was a lot of money, lads. Limerick, outskirts of the city. I love the vagueness of that. You don't need to know anymore. It's just in the outskirts. Definitely in Mayo still, you still can find many's a spot that you can get $5.50, I think. Yeah, definitely plenty in for $5.50. But I spent €18. Sorry, you spent €18 on a subway in Oslo. Had the eyes turn out of me. Oh, jeez, that's a lot. I remember once being in a subway in America, and I was trying to go through. I knew that being over there, I'd be drinking, so I went into a subway and I said, "Can I get a vegetarian subway?" And they're like, "What?" And I was like, "A vegetarian subway? You mean like with like lettuce and stuff?" I was like, "Yeah. Is that it?" They're like, "Oh no, we don't normally do it, but cool, yeah, we can do that." And I was like, "I'll just give me the beef one." So instead, so they filled it up with beef, but it was a unusual proposition for them all the same. Got a pint for $1.65 in Poland last week. Big up the Polish men. Jak się masz, bardzo dobrze. And dziękuję to the Polish people. That is amazing. $1.65, guys. It's dangerously low. Dangerously low. Jesus, Poland is some spot. We'll all have to go there and do a shanty about the Polish people. Was in a subway in USA that was next door to a Subway. I see what you're getting at there. Full veg Subway with a load of Caesar sauce is actually lovely. I wouldn't be gone. Not that I wouldn't be gone on the Caesar sauce, but I'd be more of a Chipotle kind of fella. I need that bit of a kick, especially if you're just getting the basic stuff, like the regular chicken or whatever. If you're getting spicy chicken, it's grand. You don't need the Chipotle. That's a double whammy of spiciness, which definitely does not suit the gut. Polish people are based. What does that mean? I've heard it before, but I don't know what the based part is. Bring those 4 lads from the well-lit room with us. Yes, the original Polish shanty boys, the Pretty Nancy of Yarmouth boys. We can bring those with us. They can be our in into Poland, and we can do some shanties over there. Jeez, I'd love to do I'd love to write a shanty. David Coffin, Roll the Old Chariot. I think I've heard this one before. Oh, sound. Bass means sound. Yeah, okay. They're based. It sounds like you're going to say they're based in or something like that, no? They're on the ball. Yes. I'd love to do a shanty. Oh, a shanty in Tupac. Do you remember that one? We're going to that one next. I wonder would Tupac like a shanty? I wonder has Tupac ever heard of a shanty?
Oh, we'd be all right if the wind was in our sails. We'd be all right if the wind was in our sails.
Already love it. I already want to climb all over this fella and sing into his ear the chorus. Like just the fact that he engaged people straight away. Beautiful, mate. Love it.
We'd be all right if the wind was in our sails, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along.
I guarantee you this fella lives in the woods in a cabin and he has his own chariot, so he knows exactly what the song is all about. Yeah, seriously powerful voice. Just to get in the mix there. But you can tell that he's got the gimp of a fella that has the confidence to do this. Like there, if you've seen that fella, just with the tan alone. If he walked into a pub, you'd be like, yeah, this guy, he's got a boat. This fella's got a boat.
Hang on behind. Oh, it'd be all right if we make it around the horn. Oh, it'd be all right if we make it around the horn. Oh, it'd be all right if we make it around the horn. And we'll all hang on behind. And we'll roll your chariot along.
He's the kind of fella like you'd want to have at the front of At the front of a battle, you want this fella singing a few tunes for you. Your beer's longer than this fella, is it? Jesus. Oh, I think I've seen your beer before, which it's a very luscious beer. Okay, well, we know what we're getting at. Well, we'll see now if we can just get the last bit here. There you go, guys. There's another one for you, another shanty to stick in the back pocket. I think I'm just trying to feel out the whole rhythm of the shanty and see where it's coming from. But I love that aspect of, I'm going to write that down. Incorporate, like, just get people around you. I write that down. I'll write that again, actually. Blood pressure playing fuck with the purple fella. A gibbous voice. Jesus, that's a great one. Gibbous. Is that what that is? A gibbous voice. Di Falloni. What do you do in your spare time? Is that a genuine question? If it is, I'll answer it happily. Male supporters before the All-Ireland final. I know. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. I know. I went to the Tyrone game that time and we were singing, I don't know if they call them shanties, but they were kind of inland shanties. Everyone was just really up for it. And then we got there and unfortunately we lost. But that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes, folks. A gibbous voice. That's a good one now. Let me see what the word gibbous means. Gibbous voice. Rob Paulson voices the character Gibbous in the 2017 DuckTales series. Is that... Geez, I don't know what that means. The Gibbous boys are after you. Is that Paul Nash? No, Kevin Nash, excuse me. I thought Kevin Nash was... Who's Kevin Nash? Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Kevin Nash. I'm here to fuck you. I'm here to make love to you. I'm Kevin Nash. This fella here. Oh, yeah, Jesus Christ. It does look like him, doesn't it? It does look like him, all right. Kevin Nash, in fairness to him, he looks like he's old, but he's in fine shape. He's a wrestler, you see. 66, 2.08. Big man. I don't think that's him, though. This fella looks like he enjoys the desserts a bit more, which is completely understandable. Kevin Nash has kept himself in fabulous shape. I don't know what that symbol means. Kevin Nash fella is James Hetfield. I think I know this is a different fella again. Oh, yeah. Kevin Hetfield, yeah. And also he reminds me of... What's that show about Catch a Predator? Who hosts Catch a Predator? Let's see. Presenter. Let's see now. Does he look like Kevin Nash to you, no? Or am I... Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen. More Kevin Nash than Kevin Nash. Both burned... Oh, you're right. I didn't realise. No, I don't think they were burned by fireworks, were they? This fella wasn't anyway. Look at him here. You fucked up badly. Why is he giving the attitude to the child? Clearly the child here. Oh, Jesus, yes. Carlos Discount Cauldrons. Chris you've hit the nail on the head. That's what I was thinking of. CSI Miami as well. SI Miami, is it? Main fellow will say. He was the Predator. I'm Chris Hans. No, this guy's... What's his name? David Caruso. I am David Caruso. I've got Irish blood. Spudge and Stones for dinner. Jesus Christ. Used to be a show as well years ago that I think all of these CSI Miami shows were based off. It was called Jake and the Fat Man. There was a dog there as well. Fat Man. Not the Fat Nan. Fat Man. He looks like Dave McWilliams. He does. Sorry, we're going to go back onto that in a second. Yes, now all the connections are happening. He looks just like Dave McWilliams, but I've never put it into words. He looks a small touch like Liam Neeson too. I read recently that Liam Neeson walked onto a set of a movie and there was a horse on the set and he reckons that the horse recognised him. Jake and the Fat Man, remember that one? Yes, Kerry, yeah. Great show. A great show. The Fat Man had a dog with him too. He was like an old dirty bulldog that was just... Not that the bulldog wasn't looked after, but the bulldog, no more than the big man, they didn't really look after themselves too much. It was really Jake that was doing a lot of the fucking figuring out, you know. But the Fat Man was clued in too. Like he was a great man for solving a case. Oh, speaking of which, guys, sorry to go off on a tangent here now, but you ever see that show Murder, She Wrote? No? Murder, She Wrote. So there's a woman who presents, or whatever her name is now. We're gonna get into the cock and balls of this. Angela Lansbury, right? Apparently she came to Ireland before. Angela Lansbury. And the reason why she came to Ireland, she lived in Ireland, I think it could have been Cork, because she, people probably all know this, but I only found this out the other day, but apparently her child was almost joining the Manson family. This is it here, Charles Manson. So a Facebook post shared on December the 6th, 2024 claimed actress Angela Lansbury moved her family to Ireland in an attempt to protect her daughter, Deirdre Shaw, from falling under the influence of infamous 1960s cult leader Charles Manson. Maybe next time. The post sparked renewed interest in this lesser-known chapter in the life of the Lansburys. Imagine bumping into her. God rest her soul now. She's popped off to the second village, whatever that means. But you would have liked to have bumped into her anyway. Charles Manson was a bad book. He was, but you can imagine if you were living over in wherever he was. Was it Malibu or somewhere? You could easily get caught up in it. He was just misunderstood. Yeah. According to the post, Angela Lansbury once told a story about her daughter Deirdre, who was fallen under the spell of a Hollywood deadbeat. He introduced her to drugs and would get her to steal food and money from her parents for him. Worried, Angela Lansbury decided to move her entire family to Ireland. The deadbeat guy was Charles Manson. And I don't know if it's the same kind of thing, but do you remember that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt? And it was called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Was that about Charles Manson as well, or am I getting that wrong altogether? Deirdres are all the same, yeah. You couldn't trust a Deirdre, especially Deirdre from Coronation Street. Whatever that means, I do not know. That Matlock theme tune. Okay, maybe we can wrap it up with the Matlock. We're going to wrap it up with this, guys. Thank you very much for everyone for joining me tonight. Really appreciate it. Hope you all had a great time. I won't be able to do a stream this Thursday and this Saturday, unfortunately, but I'll be back again this day next week. So looking forward to chatting to you all. And we're going to be getting in a few guests as well. I got Hughie Maloney, Big Mick coming back in. Big shout out to Big Mick. And we will continue to bring on people. We're going to hopefully get the Zoom situation set up so that we can call in people. And I'd love to do a bit of a call-in thing as well so that I can chat to you. I can chat to you and have the crack, you know, and maybe like if we can answer some questions about dating or something like that, you know, that kind of way. So we're going to finish up here with the Matlock theme. I don't really remember this, but I'm sure when I watch it, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, that was when me and the family drove to Mass or something. Great having you here. This is Matt. Yeah, you can't. Fishing on him there. He's definitely not a solicitor. I would not want this fella anywhere near the court, even when I'm in there and if I was imagine you were getting done for slander or like manslaughter. This is not the fella I want representing me. That's in a clue. Look at him. What was that? Fuck was that? What the fuck was that you said? Slipped up there, Judge. No further comments. That shot alone is enough to send me into a deep sleep tonight. Good night, folks. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you having all of you guys here with me. It's been really nice chatting to you. And Going to be playing a few games as well in the next couple of weeks. I've got a farming game I want to play with you, where I'll be bringing in virtual corn and virtual cattle. Chat to you soon, anyways. Don't lock yourself out of the mat ever. I don't know what that means. But good luck to you guys. Good luck. Thanks.